There's nothing like rappelling down your first mountain in the pole at 18,000 feet.
Sam Heughan, the famous Scottish actor, star of the hit series Outlander, not only left an impression on the audience with his acting talent but also with his brave spirit, not giving up in the face of challenges. Recently, he has undertaken one of the most dangerous and greatest journeys of his life, conquering Mount Everest, the roof of the world. The beginning of a big dream. Although famous for his role as time warrior Jamie Fraser, few people know that in real life, Sam Heughan is passionate about sports and challenges himself through extreme adventures. He has participated in marathons, triathlons, and is the founder of the charity program My Peak Challenge, encouraging people to overcome their limits. Conquering Everest has never been an easy goal, and for Sam, this is not just a mountain climbing journey, but a journey to find himself. Rigorous training and careful preparation. To prepare for this trip, Sam spent nearly a year training physically and mentally. He climbed in the Alps, participated in oxygen deprivation survival training, and got used to carrying heavy equipment on snow. Sam shared in an interview, "I knew this was the biggest challenge of my life. Without proper preparation, you don't just miss the chance to reach the summit, you can miss your life." The life and death journey begins. In April 2025, Sam Heughan officially set out with a small group of experienced Sherpa climbers and guides. They set out from Kathmandu, Nepal, and then moved to Everest Base Camp at an altitude of about 5,364 meters. From the very beginning, the group had to face the harsh climate. The cold wind cut through the skin, the thin air made it difficult to breathe. But Sam kept his will and spirit, getting closer and closer to the summit. The moment of death, the terrible avalanche. When the journey reached its most dangerous stage, the Khumbu Icefall area, one of the most dangerous places on Everest, Sam and his team encountered one of the most terrible accidents of their lives. An avalanche suddenly struck. The screech of ice breaking, the rumble of snow falling from a height of hundreds of meters, all happened in an instant. Sam recounted, "I heard a loud bang like thunder. Suddenly everything was white. I just had time to face the ground, cover my head and wait for the worst." A large block of snow collapsed, burying part of the path. One Sherpa was slightly injured, but fortunately, no one in the group died. Sam was thrown off the main climbing route, falling down a snow-covered section of the mountainside. He was trapped for nearly 2 hours before being rescued. "I thought I would never return. I thought about my family, my friends, the people who loved me. In that moment, I understood the fragility of life. The spirit of not giving up and the moment of reaching the summit." After recovering and being checked for health, Sam suddenly decided to continue the journey, even though some people in the group chose to return. On May 22, 2025, after nearly 2 months of conquering, Sam Heughan officially set foot on the top of Everest at an altitude of 8,848.86 meters. His face was pale from the cold and lack of oxygen, but his eyes lit up with joy and pride. "I did what I thought was impossible. I survived, I persevered, and I stood on the roof of the world," Sam wrote on his personal page after returning. The meaning behind the journey. For Sam Heughan, conquering Everest is not just a personal journey. He donated most of the money raised from the trip to My Peak Challenge and mental health charities, a cause he is passionate about. The event also made fans around the world admire him even more, not only as a talented actor, but also as a real-life warrior. Everest, the definition of deadly beauty. Mount Everest is not only a symbol of glory, but also a place that witnesses hundreds of tragic stories. Behind the white beauty and the halo of the roof of the world, Everest is a cruel place, where death is always lurking. Sam Heughan once shared, "I am not afraid of heights, I am afraid of silence. On Everest, death does not come with a scream, but comes silently, gently like a cold wind blowing through the collar. Death zone, where everything is against humans. From an altitude of 8,000 meters and above, Everest enters the so-called death zone, where the air is so thin that oxygen is only about 30% compared to sea level. Here, every step becomes torture. Climbers may have to rest after every 3 steps. The body begins to decompose even though it is still alive. Internal organs do not have enough oxygen to function, brain tissue begins to be damaged, and the lungs can accumulate fluid, high-altitude pulmonary edema. The weather can change in an instant. From clear skies to a whiteout blizzard, temperatures can drop to -40 degrees Celsius in minutes. Sam describes the feeling in the death zone as walking on another planet, where life is not welcome. Corpses as landmarks. One of the most haunting images Sam faced during the journey was the corpses of climbers scattered along the path, frozen in the snow and ice, unable to be brought down due to the harsh conditions. They became landmarks for those who came after. I saw a man sitting against a rock, his arms around his knees, his head bowed. I thought he was resting. But no, he had been there for years. Places like Green Boots, Sleeping Beauty, and Rainbow Valley, all named after human remains, became the most obvious evidence of the price people pay to reach the summit. Hallucinations, disorientation and lostness. The lack of oxygen caused Sam to fall into a state of disorientation and hallucination. He said he thought he saw a group of friends waiting ahead, waving, but when he got closer, there were only snow-covered rocks. I started to doubt myself. I didn't know where I was going. I wasn't sure if I was alive or dead. In that moment, the will to live was stronger than anything else. It was the desire to return, to see his family and friends again, to continue living, that kept him awake and moving forward. Deadly silence. On Everest, there are no sirens, no people shouting for help, no helicopters ready to come to your rescue at a moment's notice. Once you have an accident, you are almost alone in the majestic nature. Phone signal is weak, satellite signal is intermittent, you can't call for help if there is no one nearby. Sam describes, I have never felt so alone. The sky is pitch black, the wind is howling, and I am just a small creature in the vastness. When the body betrays itself. On the way down, many climbers die not from falling or avalanches, but simply from exhaustion. The body cannot continue, the brain is no longer clear enough to control each step. Sam suffered from mild hypothermia in his legs and arms, feeling numb to the point of not being able to feel anything. Every time he moved, his skin felt like it was being ripped apart. He had to use breathing exercises and meditation techniques he had learned before to stay awake and motivate himself. And in the end, life triumphs. Despite all the horrors he faced, avalanches, dead bodies, hallucinations, and bone-chilling cold, Sam Heughan survived and returned home. But he was no longer the man he had been. Everest changed me. I used to think I was strong, but now I know how fragile I am. Because of that, I learned to appreciate life more than ever. Sam Heughan proved that behind the Hollywood glamour lies a man with an indomitable spirit, willing to face danger, even death, to reach the heights not only of the world, but also of his own soul. Sam Heughan's journey to conquer Everest will forever be a symbol of courage, steely will and the spirit of never giving up.